The Very Brave Puppy. One day, when Martin and Claire were walking home from school, they saw a little puppy struggling to swim in a pond. "Quick, let's get it out," cried Claire. Martin took off his shoes and socks, waded into the pond and picked up the struggling puppy. He quickly carried the shivering little creature back to the bank. "Let's take it home and see if Mummy will let us keep it," said Claire. "Poor little thing." They carried the puppy home, but oh dear, their mother wouldn't let them keep it. "No," she said, "you have 2 rabbits and a kitten, and that's quite enough. You can't have a puppy too. Besides, it's a very ugly little thing." "But what should we do with it?" asked Claire. "Your father's got to go to the town this afternoon, and he'll take it to the dog's home," said Mummy. "It will be looked after there until someone comes and offers to give it a good home. You'd better go into town too and have your hair cut, both of you." So that afternoon, Daddy and the 2 children got into their car and drove off to town. Claire carried the puppy, which wriggled and licked her happily, thinking it had found a lovely owners at last. The children thought it was the nicest little puppy they'd ever seen, and even Daddy said it wasn't a bad little thing when it had licked the back of his ear a dozen times. "Here's the hairdressers," said Daddy, pulling up by the curb. "Come on, you 2, leave the puppy in the car, and we'll all go and have our hair cut." So into the shop they went, leaving the puppy in the car. Soon all 3 were sitting in chairs with big white cloths around them, and snip, snip, snip went the scissors. Outside the shop were 2 men. They'd seen Daddy and the children go into hairdressers, and they knew that it would be some time before they came out again. "Let's take this car, Bill," said one of the men. "We can jump into it and drive off before anyone stops us." "But isn't there a dog inside?" said the other man. "It's only a puppy," said the first man. "Come on, quick, before our coppers come." He opened the car door, and at the same moment the puppy started barking his very loudest, for he knew well that the 2 men were not the children, nor their father. The man cuffed the puppy, who bared his little white teeth and snarled. He was very much afraid of this nasty, rough man, but the car was in his charge, and he was going to guard it as best he could. So he flew at the man, who was trying to sit in the driver's seat, and bit him on the arm. The man tore him away and flung him into the back of the car, but, still barking, the brave little dog once more hurled himself at the thief. Then Martin and Claire heard him barking, and Martin ran to the window and looked out. "Daddy, Daddy," he cried, "there's 2 men stealing a car! Quick, quick, the puppy's trying to stop them, but they'll soon be away." Daddy rushed out of the shop at once, followed by the hairdresser and another man. Quickly they captured the 2 thieves, and the hairdresser went to telephone the police. In a few minutes the bad men were marched off to the police station, and Daddy and the children went back to have their hair finished. "Well, that puppy is about the bravest little thing I ever saw," said Daddy. "I've a good mind to keep him after this. He's stopped our car from being stolen. There's no doubt of that. What about taking him home again, children, and telling Mummy what he's done? Perhaps she would let you keep him then." "Oh, Daddy," cried Martin and Claire in delight. "Do let's." So they all drove home again, and Daddy told Mummy how the puppy's bravery had saved their car from being stolen. The puppy looked at Mummy with his big brown eyes and wagged his stumpy tail hopefully. "Well, we'll keep him," said Mummy. "I'm sure he will grow up into a very brave, faithful dog. You shall have him, children." So that is how Pickles the puppy came to belong to Martin and Claire. He is a grown-up dog now, and he has scared away burglars twice, and once he pulled the baby out of the water when she fell in. Mummy is very glad she let Martin and Claire keep him, and of course, they think he's the very best dog in the world.